Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is Makeup by Kate. If you are new here, hi, welcome. I'm glad you're here. I love purple pastel colors. I think that's so beautiful, so I did that on the eye today. If you want to see how I created this look, what products I used, keep watching. And I am gonna zoom you in to do the eyes. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and prime the eyes. I'm just going to use my RCMA palette and do a little cream action, one of these. Just brushing that right on, just a very light layer, nothing too heavy. Anywhere where there's darkness a little bit, I always get on the corner of my eye. So I'm going to go ahead and do my transition shade. Transition. I'm also going to clip this hair back because it's very annoying. I always go back to this transition shade. It's one of my all-time favorites for me and my skin tone. I use Anastasia Beverly Hills. This is in shade Fawn. My pan and just start pushing that right in the crease of the eye, back and forth. I didn't place any powder on before this because I'm putting a cream on my eye. I don't know, I go back and forth between if I like powdering my eyes before shadows. When you don't powder, you get so much more pigment from the shadows, and you just have to make sure you have a very light touch when you're going over the creams. And sometimes you just pack it and then blend out the edges. Oh my gosh, this just fell on my head. Babe!
What happened?
This fell on my head. To focus a lot of that color right at the top of this corner right here and push it into the brow, because that just kind of goes in with the contour of your nose, and just pulling that out. Now I'm going to go in with my color. So I'm using this Makeup Forever. It is the Camouflage palette, and I just love this purple shade. This is what we're going to use for our pastel purple shade. We're going to take a little flat shader brush because it's denser, so it's going to get more pigment. We're just going to start packing it right on the lid. Start low and then I'll start blending up. So with this look, I'm going to do a nice cat eye with it. And I got this inspo from Instagram, and I just loved the contrast of the very light purple with the cat eye. Like, does it look similar to that? Yeah. So to set this color, because it is a cream, I'm using this Anastasia Beverly Hills Aurora palette. I hate that noise. My camera keeps trying to focus. So this is like an old school palette. I remember it being so popular, but I'm going to use this. I'm just going to take my finger and pop that right over it. Then I'm going to take that same purple shade and pop it on the inner corner of the eye. Then also on the brow bone. Taking this Rimmel Exaggerate waterproof liner in Blackest Black. This is one of my favorite liners, and it is so cheap. So I'm just going to start packing that on the lash line tight before I go in and wing anything out. For my eye shape, I don't like applying it too thick on towards the inner corner because I don't have the biggest lid space, so I want to keep that pretty low. When I get in the outer corner, that's when I'll start making it thicker. Also making sure there's no spaces. I never want that like little white space right there. You just don't want that gap. Very much a pet peeve, and I have often made that mistake and look back at pictures and I'm like, now we're going to start with the wing. I'm going to use this same pencil. Just start applying that out and then use a brush to really make it sharp. So I'm going to really pull that out. Okay, I like where this is going. Now I'm going to add black shadow over top of this to set, and and enhance the black pigment and make it even darker. You can take any black shadow that you have, doesn't really matter. I'm using from the Soft Glam palette, there is Noir pigment. Anastasia palettes are always very pigmented, so I like to go in with that. Sometimes I'll take my phone and just do like a little selfie of me looking down to make sure the wing looks good looking down, because that is very important. Alright, moving on, I'm going to apply some mascara and pop some lashes on. I'll be right back. Okay, so I was getting real in here, so I had my hair up. But I did my other eye and I put some lashes on. I still want to curl them and everything, but I'm starting to put individuals. I just wanted to show you. I want to do a few down here just to enhance this eye look. So I'm going to take my white liquid. This is Danessa Myricks. This is a waterproof. It looks crazy right now. I know. Do I look like a clown? Okay. I'm not sure about these yet. Remember when I said I'm not going to do anything on the bottom of my eye? I'm going to start going in with some foundation. I'm going in with NARS and mixing a little bit of Too Faced in there to give it a little bit more warmth. And I want a little more fuller coverage, which is why I'm using the NARS. So I'm just going to go right in with my fingers and really push that into the skin. And then I'm going to take a kabuki brush and start packing. Oh, I'm looking at this eye and I'm freaking myself out. I think I went too far. This isn't working. So I'm going to go in with my beauty blender with the excess foundation that I have and just start packing that. So I'm going to go in with some contour and warmth first. I'm going to take this flat brush. This is by Sephora. Foundation brush, but I like it for contouring because it has a nice sharp side. I draw and then I start pulling that up. I'm just going to put it right under to define and then blend down to really enhance the jawline. You can always go back in with the foundation brush just to make sure there's no harsh edges because this has some excess foundation on it. I'm going to take that same colors and pull my face in a bit. And I'm going to do this highlight all the way up, so I want to just do these temples right here and then blend out with the foundation into the rest of the forehead. See how that brings the forehead in a bit? And when I'm doing warmth on the skin or contour, I love using the RCMA palette right here. There's smaller ones that I'm planning on getting once I'm out of this because I mostly use this just for the contour colors. I like to bring it up here a bit to kind of shrink. Also, make sure you're pushing it into the hairline, everybody. Now I'm going to go in and highlight with concealer. I'm using a new product for concealer that I've never used before, and these are the Danessa Myricks Concealers Perfecting and Shaping Wand. Like I said, I haven't used these. They're very, 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 very pigmented. This is neutral 10. Oh yeah, so I love this brush. See how tapered it is? It's like, and it makes it so nice for bringing highlight up into that nose. Getting the right brushes makes your job so much easier. I'm gonna slowly, lightly start bringing that into that contour. And then again, bringing that out. In the center of the face, keeping it pretty low, not going too high, and then just lightly pushing up into that contour. So taking that foundation brush with that excess foundation and just pushing that in as well. This is $1 billion brushes, and this is the contour brush, but I like using it for foundation. It just packs nice. I'm gonna bake a little bit. So I'm taking my RCMA No Color Setting Powder and just going right in with my beauty sponge. So I'm going to go in with another RCMA. This is the Cream Blush Palette. These blushes are amazing as well. They blend so good. So I'm just kind of dipping into these first three. I'm just pushing it up the cheekbones, bringing it a little bit on the apples, and then up, 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 up. I'm using a very light touch because I don't want to disrupt any of the stuff I put on the rest of the face. So I think that's one of the biggest things I've learned the more I do makeup. I have such a heavy hand with pretty much everything I do, so I have to really remind myself to be very light with my touch, and it does make the world's difference, I promise. Do I look crazy? I'm gonna start brushing this powder away lightly. I'm gonna take a nice little fluffy brush. This is by Laura Geller. I'm gonna just kind of push and bring it down here to make sure that doesn't move. I'm noticing my bottom lashes with powder got a little bit lightened, so I'm gonna go over that a little bit. So for this, you've probably seen, I just caught that. Whoa. You've probably seen me use this a lot. I'm obsessed. This is the Laura Mercier Glow Translucent Powder. Honestly, I think if I had to pick like my favorite product of all time, it's this. Just start lightly putting that all over the skin. It's very subtle, but it makes your skin look like butter. So now I'm going to take that Fawn shade that we used to transition on our eyes, and I'm going to take that with a nice fluffy brush and go straight down the nose, following this contour from the eye like I said earlier. Just going down the nose. I like to use this powder contour for the nose because it's a little bit of a cooler tone. I'm going to take a little bit of that Laura Mercier highlight with my finger and put it right here at that, and then on the tip a little bit. Cupid's bow. Oh, my nose waters when I do makeup. So I'm taking this one right here. This is the Spectra in this palette. I don't really necessarily love like this action with highlight. I just kind of like tapping and just giving a little light feathery stroke, if you will. I'm doing a little bit here. Okay, so I did my lip. Sorry, my camera died, so I just did it off camera, but I used the Ulta Beauty lip liner in Spice, and then in the middle I used my KKW Nude 2. And that's it. That's the final look. Thank you for tuning in. If you could subscribe, like, comment below, that'd be amazing. Lots of content every day on my Instagram. Please follow. I will see you next time. Mwah.